Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Can't wait to make this episode the same exact length as The King. Let's go. 2.5 hours.
Yes!
Don't make this a challenge.
Yes! Yes! We have to go the full movie runtime.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. And this is me apologizing to the Academy, but also to you, Allison, because, I know that you do so much for this world and for movies in general, TM, that, you could have done anything else with your time than watch a 2.5 hour film. 2.5, that's so much time.
It's a lot of time.
In your life.
However, one could argue that this is, in fact, a capital B, capital M boy movie, TM.
It's nothing else if not a boy movie.
It is boy exclusive.
It is. I don't know if I'm allowed to like sometimes I watch a boy movie and I'm like, I don't know if I'm allowed to watch this. And this was that kind of movie. I
don't think this is for me, actually.
I don't know. I don't know if they made this with me in mind. I know they didn't make it with me in mind.
Sure.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna come out and say, here and now, that I actually love a long movie. Literally, this is exclusive. I love a long movie. I am a defender of a long movie. And yet,
brave, true.
Thank you. I'm taking my bow. And yet, when I was watching this movie, which I had never seen before.
Same.
And the thing happens, you guys, maybe not the thing, but, the most interesting character, who I'm sure we will discuss at some point, and I believe the reason that we are here, gets killed off.
What if we didn't, though?
What if you had no idea? What if you're like, what?
What if we just watched this for Timmy?
That's why I watched it. When that character dies, though, there is still a half hour left of the movie somehow. Yeah. And
oh my God.
That's shocking. That was shocking to me.
There's so much movie,
So much movie. My God.
This is getting ahead of things, but I'm brave enough to say this because
Be brave.
And I think it's important, Allison, that you stand in your truth. Also, hello, folks. We brought Allison back. What
I'm back.
The fuck's up?
Yes, I'm back.
We're starting a stamp card for Allison.
Yes. Returning customer.
8 more times, Allison, you get a free yogurt.
Oh, hell yeah.
And not a free yogurt, just a yogurt.
I'll get my probiotics, my daily probiotics.
Yeah, you could trade up and get a Go-Gurt if you really want it. If that's your truth. But
as a woman on the go,
hash out those details.
That's amazing for me,
I'm gonna be
frankly.
Thinking about a fucking yogurt for this whole time. Honest to God, Allison, I was fully anticipating Robert showing up in this movie. Didn't expect it to be an hour in. I fell asleep.
No.
Woke up. He still wasn't in this movie. I had to rewind again because I'm taking notes for this. He hadn't showed up yet.
Stop.
And then he was just in it being beautiful, bougie, great. And then the movie still continued after he died. What?
And he's only in 3 scenes. Okay, I'm going to be, you know what, since you were just fearlessly real, I'm going to be fearlessly real too. I watched this movie over a period of a week and a half. It's so
good.
Which I never do. I started it, I'm not joking, last Saturday. I started it last Friday. And then I didn't have time this week to let me amend my statement. I didn't want to sit down and watch it this week because I had not been impressed by the first 40 minutes that I had seen. And I was like, it'll get done at some point. Last night I watched maybe 30 minutes, fell asleep, and then this morning I woke up and said, all right, I gotta finish that last hour and a half. I gotta do it. And it was harrowing.
That is how I watched, God, what was it, 3 years ago when that 3.5 hour Netflix movie came out?
The Irishman.
The Irishman. That is how I watched it.
Yeah, which
Talk
is
about a
how
boy
Martin
movie.
Scorsese would want you to watch it, I'm sure.
I had to treat it like a TV series because there's no fucking way that you're gonna sit my ass down for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
No.
Here's the thing. Like, I watched that movie. I love that movie a lot,
Same.
but I had to be physically restricted. Like, the fact I was like, I need to go to the theater to see this, because otherwise, if I play it on Netflix like 2 weeks later, I will not watch it in its totality, even if it's wonderful and great, which it is. But I was like, I have to be restrained. Like, I have to have my coffee, go to the theater,
I was
and
just
cannot
about to
leave.
say that if I had seen it in a theater, I would have been like, okay, I'm sitting my ass down. Because I saw Oppenheimer, no problem, had the time of my damn life. I'm going to be real. I also did watch The Irishman over a period of days. I'm just being fearlessly real today. Yeah. It's fine.
That's valid. You're all brave.
I love that movie.
Correct.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I feel like if they want my full attention for something like that, my brain says you need to put me in like the job interview movie theater seats. But I know that wouldn't work, and I do need the recliner seats. Like, those should be the standard, but if you're going to get my full attention, I need to be in the job interview seats. Because for
Straight back.
To be up.
3.5 hours, I'll get like a decent REM sleep.
Yeah.
I'll just...
You can get a good nap in there.
100%. Like, thank you for this great $20 nap.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
The recliner
Like, men
seats
fighting sounds like home.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's great. I'll pay for this.
You're like, I could get this for free, but let me pay $20 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark.
about the experience, you know?
It's the ambiance. Like, when you're here, your family, right?
There is
So
nothing
true.
wrong with that. When I saw Avatar 2, I have not even seen... I'm sorry, Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm going to call it, it's like normal, it's God-given James Cameron name. I have not seen the first Avatar, but I went to go see Avatar: The Way of Water, and I fell asleep 3 times. I'm not kidding you. I truly nodded off, and then every single time I woke up, they were just still like gliding through the water. I was like, okay, here we are. We're going.
I've never related to you more than in this moment.
Yeah.
Thank
you so
This
much.
feels very vulnerable and open and honest. I love this conversation already. We're setting the tone, you know?
There's a lot of reasons why I don't go to movie theaters, especially like now.
Right.
But specifically, even before when I was like allowed to go to movie theaters, that was primarily why. Is because I would just fall asleep. And
It's a sleepy setting.
I don't want to fall asleep in a movie theater with people around. I'll just do that in the comfort of my home. Thank
That's
you.
fair. Yeah.
I've been that person, and it's definitely, it's not embarrassing. I'll say it. Like, when you wake up and you realize that the movie is still going on and everyone around you is still engaged in this movie and you're the asshole who fell asleep, it's a little bit like, okay, well, I should just see myself out, frankly. Like, I don't belong here with all you cinephiles.
Things in movie theaters, so
This is true.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think you need to be embarrassed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I feel so safe right now.
I'm so glad that you were here,
Me
Allison.
too. Me too.
I need to be for real, because we are making this a safe space. That like, Cody and I are very selective about the people that we bring onto this space because. First of all, I mean, it is hard to get people to come onto a Twilight show. Let's be real.
Of course. Makes sense. I don't understand why, but I get it.
Listen.
Yeah. People aren't knocking on our doors. Like, that's
Crazy. It's crazy that you guys aren't at, like, Mark Maron levels. Like, people should be banging down your doors.
It's not, let's just say that it's not like 2005 Thanksgiving Day at Best Buy here. You know what I mean?
The crowds are not coming. The crowds are not crowding.
Fist fighting over a television.
Yeah, we're more like the Sonic float at the Thanksgiving parade, which famously got shot down.
Oh my god.
It's like, they're back again. Another year.
Yeah.
Oh god. But there have been now only 2 people that we have invited back
Shut the hell up.
to this show.
Shut the hell up.
Allison, you are one of them. You are actually the first
Oh my
that has been
god!
invited back.
This is true, yeah. It's so exciting.
I am gagged. Oh my god. What an honor. This is...
So it would only happen for CEO of Boy Movies TM.
Right.
Thank
Listen,
you.
It's an iconic collaboration.
This is
Handshake
a crossover
emoji,
event.
Boy
yes.
Movies.
Yes.
Into the Twilight.
Into the
Bonded
Twilight
forever.
X Boy Movies. We are now bonded in the ether of pop culture, goofy.
We're on the precipice.
Goofy things. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, some could say that, like, Into the Twilight has imprinted on Boy Movies TM.
That's true.
That is so vile.
Let's tie it back together. Let's tie it back in. Oh my God.
If anyone has the audacity to not know who you are and what you do, could you, because it's been a while, right? Since
Yes, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
You've been busy. Girl
You
boss,
guys
yeah.
have been
You're
busy.
booked busy, for sure.
Could you remind people who you are and what you do?
Of course. Well, first of all, I am honored to be back. Let me just say that straight up front. I was so excited, and I'm so excited to be here. Honored to be the first returning guest. And if by, oh my God, I cannot believe anyone could have gone through their life up until this point and not heard my past iconic appearance on this podcast. But in case
You're not
you
a real
missed
fan.
our amazing new moon commentary, which was what we watched last time. I am Allison Picurro. I am my day job. I am a TV critic at TV Guide. And my passion, the cross I bear, my devil, my shame is that I am the editor. I am the editor. JK, I just started a newsletter. It's called Boy Movies. It's on Substack. It's about movies for boys. And that's what I do with my time these days. I believe I had not yet started Boy Movies. It was just an idea the last time I was
Right,
here.
yeah.
So
That's
I'm happy
so
to be back.
wild.
And yeah, I'm happy
And it
to
has
be back
flourished
and talking about it.
in the time since. It's
Oh my
wonderful.
God.
Highly recommend. Good content.
Thank you.
I love a Boy
I can't
Movies
even.
issue.
It's wild to think that it's just an idea last time, because when I think of you, I think of Boy Movies. Like they are together.
That is so stunning. That is so stunning.
It's been a while, right? Yeah. So I wanted to make sure that folks were properly introduced to you. I have a couple of questions
Of course.
for you. The first of which is Fuck, Marry, Kill
God. Okay.
with NoHo Hank,
No.
Kendall,
No.
and
No.
Kelvin.
My God.
Why would you do this to me? Okay.
Because I care about you.
I don't know that you do. Okay. This is so evil. Well,
It's sick
okay.
and twisted, for sure.
Okay. All right. I'm already. Okay. So Kendall. This is so hard. Okay, I am just gonna say straight up front, I'm going to marry Kelvin not because I feel any, like, he is my son boy, but like I just can't. I can neither fuck him nor kill him. I will just say that.
Sure.
And I need
valid.
to protect him with my life, and that's the only way to do it. And I guess I will. Okay, here. This is really painful. But Kendall, canonically good at sex. Season 1. There's an episode. He's eating pussy. It is beautiful. Let's do it. I will fuck Kendall. And then I guess I have to kill NoHo Hank. But that's like the worst thing I've ever said. And now I think you should kill me.
Yeah.
I think you should kill me. If he dies, I die.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All
That's
right.
fair.
That's
Okay.
fair. Yeah.
Thank you. That was so evil. All right, I gotta leave now. That was so evil. Going.
Yeah, that's maybe the most evil question you've asked a guest ever. Question
sorry.
mark? That was
sorry.
that was rough.
There's
So
just
mean.
HBO. Sorry, Max.
Don't
Has
give in to
been-
that. Don't let them win.
Don't let them
all right,
win.
Well, HBO has just been really strong in their men.
Yeah,
Sure.
they have a
They
specific
got good
type
boys,
of guy.
for sure.
They got
Yeah.
good. They got good boys.
Good boys.
They got good bad boys.
They
They
really
do have good bad boys. That's
And
true.
sad boys.
Yep, a lot of sad
Which is
boys.
kind of our whole thing.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
We love a sad boy.
Allison, I know that you were leading the strong fan front for Calvin and Keith. How does it feel to be right?
Oh my god, it is.
Yeah, do you feel vindicated?
I literally vindicated by Dashboard Confessional was playing at top volume in my head. I when that happened, I was like, I was alone. I was watching that episode alone. I threw my hands in the air and promptly rewatched the scene at least 3 or 4 times because I could not believe what I was seeing. It was so stunning. All of the reactions, Danny McBride's face, Tim Baltz's face, everyone was just slaying the house down. It was such a perfect moment. I love that it happened the way it happened. It was very sweet. And you know what? I am going to make a statement to everyone who was accusing the Righteous Gemstones of queer baiting. First of all, unlearn that word. Second of all, Danny McBride would never. He would never do that to us.
Yeah, listen. So, we love a slow burn, right? It's about edging. It's about getting there. And then the picture's worth a bajillion words. Absolutely. And we got there. Okay. We got there. Also, like, Kelvin is like a gay virgin, which is like my favorite type of character. Is just like a gay virgin who has no idea what anything is. And it would make sense that he wouldn't know what his feelings were at first. Okay? So thank you so much for asking. I do feel vindicated. It was such a beautiful moment. They're so cute. I love that for them. Yeah.
Period. It was so important to me.
Thank God we're getting another season.
Oh my God. Especially because the season finale felt like a series finale that I was like, what the fuck?
I was scared. I was
so nervous. Mm-hmm. Have you felt a communal experience before that has been similar to Succession Twitter?
Okay, let me say not quite Succession Twitter levels, which I think was like its own gorgeous, beautiful, sometimes evil, sometimes dark beast. But you
had to be there. You know?
You literally had to be there. But I will say the closest thing I have ever felt to Community other than that was the Social Network fandom, which was its own brand of derangement, you know? So I will say that, but I feel like I was almost able to appreciate the Community aspect more. And like, you know, memes are so different now. The way we see memes and get memes delivered to us is so different now. Now we have like the cast engaging with memes, which did not happen when the Social Network was big on like Tumblr and LiveJournal. It's so different now. So I will say it is definitely a new kind of like immersive community experience, if that makes sense.
Okay. 100%.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to capture that lightning in a bottle.
I know. I kind of miss it. Do you guys miss it?
Me
I
too.
I kind of miss it. I don't know.
I miss it a lot.
Yeah. I was just thinking about Kendall, which is not surprising because I always am.
When am I not thinking about Kendall Roy?
Literally, my sweet little boy. I hope he's well. I know he's not, you know. But I literally, baby girl, I hope he's well. I wish
he's not. So
I know, but in my mind palace, he is.
Dramaturgically, he's not okay.
Dramaturgically, he is not okay, but it's fine. It's fine. He, you know, I envision a future for him.
Alive?
What's that?
Yeah, it's very helpful of you. I appreciate your innocence, your naivete.
Yes. I mean, listen, I'm delusional also. Like, I just want that up front. Sure. Like, I am delusion. You were speaking to a delusional person. I mean, it is what it is.
This is a safe space for that.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, I think the Venn diagram of Kendall Roy and Kendall Roy girlies is Delulu, right? Like absolutely. That's the middle center of what really brings it all together.
Yeah, we are the patron saints of Delulu and Grippy Springs.
We originated the language. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of lightning in a bottle, if you had a dream topic for a new season of American Vandal, what would it be?
That is, oh my God. Jesus, that is so good. Okay, wait, this is really outdated, but I actually think about it all the time, and it is because a friend of mine tweeted about it. Okay, again, excuse me for how outdated this is, but do you guys remember when like the Don't Worry Darling drama was happening? And
of course.
Okay, literally, and like, you know, there were so many conflicting stories. No one knew what the truth was. You know who could find out the truth? The American Vandal boys. They would have figured that shit out in a second, okay?
Yeah.
100%.
And I think I would actually, so it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but I think some form of like silly celebrity drama, it would be really fun to see them take on. What do you guys think? What is your dream topic?
I don't know
hard.
that it's bad that it's outdated.
Right.
I think that they would have done a great season on crypto, specifically from like the celebrity lens.
Absolutely. Get them in the room with like Ben McKenzie and let him just like go off about the show.
Yeah,
You know?
I do like the idea of it like being a fictional third season where they're like graduated, maybe they're journalists, they're like putting their craft in a different lens, right? And like whether it's like the entertainment stuff of the "Don't Worry, Darling" nonsense or whatever random like pop culture / mess of like financial stuff makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Or even like last year when Meta was trying to do that VR thing, and then we found out that they had made like $40 or something.
If they do a Horizon Worlds situation, that would be so good. Because then you also have the opportunity for the same like dick jokes and like, because it's just teenagers that are on there, and it's like 12 teenagers that are on Horizon Worlds.
They could do, right. It would retain the humor of the show and like the spirit of the show, but also be kind of like a new topic for them.
Okay, so Netflix, if you're listening, we
Which
have a $1 billion idea.
Pay your fucking writers.
Pay your fucking writers, and then then pay us to write the third season of American Vandal.
Right. We're not going to scab, obviously.
No.
So when
We're
the
just
time is right,
pitching.
and when you get your shit figured out, call us.
Yes.
My last question for you. Could you provide us a pitch for why we should cover Interview with the Vampire?
Oh my God. Wait. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. So I saw that you guys did a poll recently. I voted for Interview with the Vampire in the poll.
Thank you for participating in democracy.
Yes, I am. I literally was rocking the vote.
Thank you for using your voice.
I showed up. I stayed in line. And I hope I can make a
Pokemon
change
went
in
to the
this
polls,
world.
you know?
Shut the fuck up.
Pokemon go to the polls, baby. Okay, so it is. First of all, I will just say, obviously there are many books. Anne Rice's like crazy mind was just like shitting out books for years, which I think is amazing. But the TV show is only a season so far, which I think makes it less daunting than perhaps jumping into something that has more seasons. Mm-hmm. Very easy to just like catch up on, get ready for season 2 whenever the hell that comes. So that's one. 2, Sam Reed as Lestat must be seen to be believed. Like it is, it actually was giving me in one of my notes for while I was watching this movie, Robert Pattinson in this movie was giving me Sam Reed Lestat, which is the highest compliment I can pay anyone.
Interesting.
It's
okay.
It's
That's
very much
dangerous to say.
which I thought that might push you guys in the direction, but you know, I'm just throwing that out there. But I do think it is like, I think it is right up your alley. I think it is camp. I think it is sexy. I think it is funny. I think it is silly. I think it has twists and turns that will just gag you. There's old man gay guys, like old gay guys on the show, which I think is stunning. They're all kind of old, but there's like an actual Eric Bogosian, my king, Succession alum, plays like an actual old bisexual man who, you know, he's doing the interviewing, but in many ways, he's being interviewed. You know what I mean? Yes. And it's just, I just think it is such like a kooky, twisted story. And I think they did such a good job putting like a modern, like quote unquote modern spin on it and still like retaining the original spirit of Anne Rice's, again, insane mind. And I think you guys would love it, genuinely. It is just like kooky, crazy fun. So there's my pitch. I don't know if that was good because I think I stand too hard to like come up with like a pitch, like a capital P pitch that like makes sense and is coherent, but like it's good. It's just really good, and I think you guys would love it.
I've only heard amazing things.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It is cuckoo crazy. The finale, the season 1 finale, I mean, I got my life. Like it really, I still remember the like euphoria of watching it for the first time. My jaw was on the floor. I was screaming at the screen. I had to keep pausing just to gather myself because so many things were happening and I was swept away by them. So I think it's time. I just think it's time. And it also is such an essential piece of the vampire canon, and you guys are nothing if not the vampire authorities. So I think it's time. I think it's time.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
It's
That's
so
all I'll
real.
say. Yeah.
Yeah. That's valid.
Yeah.
And traditionally, we talk about stuff in here in this space that is bad. So one thing that we like to do is instead of like shot chaser, we do chaser shot here and talk about our happy things before we get into the bad stuff. Could you share with us a happy thing that's happened recently or something that you're enjoying?
Yes. I saw the National. I saw them last night at Madison Square Garden, and they are my favorite band. I'd never seen them live. I've had tickets to see them twice, and both times fell through because of first time was because of COVID, second time was just because of life, and this time I was like, it is happening, brother. And it was an amazing show. Patti Smith opened for them. It was insane. Yeah, it was crazy. She got up there, she went on at 7:30 on the dot. That bitch played from 7:30 to 8:30. She played for a full hour exactly, and then got off stage and presumably went to bed because she is like 80 years old. And it was incredible. I definitely was transported to like being 12 again because I have been obsessed with this band since I was like 12 years old. And it's always nice to just like relive your child, teenage, tween feelings. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Or maybe not always nice, but it was nice in this context. So I guess my happy thing is seeing the National, but also asterisk reliving younger Allison's feelings in real time.
Yeah.
That's real.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Cody, how you doing?
I'm chilling. I'm living. I'm laughing. I'm loving, as one does. Listen, if you're a fan of the show, you know we talk about reality television quite a bit.
Yes.
And especially in this...
It's the show within the show.
Right, it's the show within the show. And especially in this era, right? We gotta find stuff to tide us over, right?
Yes.
While people fight to get paid what they deserve. And previously, I have talked about various instances of the Gordon Ramsay cinematic universe. And I would like to talk about the most recent edition, which just wrapped up, I think, this past week. I mean, when this comes out, it'll be all out and stuff. But, and that is Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Which posits an important question I never had, but now I do, of what if Gordon Ramsay did The Apprentice? What if Gordon Ramsay did, like, Shark Tank, right? Like, that's
Hell
the conceit
yeah.
of this show. And it's essentially, he's going to invest, like, $250,000 into one rising food entrepreneur and put them through weird challenges every week of like, you should run a coffee shop, you should like do a like QVC type like recording of selling products and stuff. And everyone has like their own little businesses that they want to get like funding to go to the next level or whatever, and he just puts them through very random trials to get to the end and invest his own personal money, allegedly.
Wow.
And it's bonkers. I'm obsessed with it. It's a level of Delulu that I love. It is very good smooth brain background TV, but I'm also very invested in like some of these like very strange businesses.
I'm sold.
I bet that $250K came just from residuals from all of his different shows.
Absolutely. Like he's like, this is just pocket change I got from doing Kitchen Nightmares. And also at the end of like every challenge, he'll like pull up in a booth, like, and he'll sit everyone down, like, individually, and be like, who do you think, like, really flubbed it up this season, like, this week? Like, who do you think I should send home? I don't know who I should invest in. And it's hilarious and wonderful and so bizarre in an incredible way. And that's that's giving for me this week.
Fox is really just churning out reality TV right now.
They have to.
They have no other choice. Yeah, they have no other choice.
Listen, and I'm sitting my ass down and listening. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here. I'm gonna
You're
eat
eating
this
it
live.
up. You're saying, yum, yum, yum.
Right. and then I pass it along and infect others with my slop, and that's my truth. Allie, how are you doing?
I'm also live, laugh, loving.
Amazing.
My happy thing this week is HBO show
Lovely.
that I succumbed to the advertising that I get before watching The Righteous Gemstones. So my happy thing is Winning Time.
Okay.
Because I saw enough ads for it that I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to just try it out. And I will say that I was a little scared because I've never watched anything with John C. Reilly in it before.
What? My jaw's on the floor.
I only know that man from Step Brothers. Like, that's the only thing I know his face from. So I was like, who's this man? But this show is so fucking good. And I know that it's being advertised a lot, but it actually does stand up to the hype.
I love
it
that.
is a wild mix of like sports from Friday Night Lights and also like goofs and gaffs and also a little bit of drama. It has some back end folks from Succession in it.
Yes, Adam McKay is involved, I believe. Or he
Yeah.
was involved in season 1. Hilarious. That guy.
And you can tell, given the way that they structure some of the drama components, but it is primarily a comedy. And I highly recommend it. Because it's all about like how the Lakers rose up in the 80s, which for me, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
But some of the people that they cast as Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are the prettiest men I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
So that balances out
Okay.
the fact that I was like, why am I seeing John C. Reilly shirtless?
Yeah.
And Jason Clarke, who I primarily knew from the Pet Cemetery movie and him being really sad, and he's like in it a lot. So these like two men balanced against like really pretty, beautiful actors. So I highly recommend it. The pilot's really good. And there's another character, like a really famous actor who I won't tell you about, who comes in later, that is just like a galaxy brain choice to put in it.
Yeah.
But it's very good, and I recommend it, even if you're not really a sports person.
I'm so excited for you to start your John C. Reilly journey because
Oh my
this
God.
is very important.
He is
I feel
so
like
important.
he's very important. Famed alumni of my university. Shout out Blue Demons. Let's go.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I never needed you to watch something more than I needed you to watch Walk Hard.
Cody, I was literally about to say,
Same
if you were
same
going
wavelength.
we are mind melding. That is
Yes.
not even just one of the best John C. Reilly movies. That is one of the greatest films ever made. It is, if you've ever seen a music biopic, it is somehow better and also a perfect send up of all of them. It is so good. He is.
It's an incredible
He's
cast.
It is a
shirtless in this.
powerhouse performance. Yes, it is it is powerhouse. And also Jack White plays Elvis in that movie, which is really iconic.
Like, what more do you need? You get
more
Tim
do you
Meadows
need?
in there.
What
Come
more
on
do you
now.
need?
Like,
It's a really
Get outta
good movie.
here.
Tim, Allie, you'll understand this when you watch Walk Hard, which you will because I'm going to hound you about it. But one of the things I say constantly is, and he never paid for drugs, not once. I say that once a day, and it doesn't make any sense when I say it, but I say it. And you'll get it, and you'll get it. You'll get it soon.
no, you're so
I'm
valid for
seeing-
that.
Thank you.
They're recommended next to it on IMDb with Popstar. So, okay.
That's what,
See?
it's exactly the same wavelength.
It's the same vibe.
Okay.
You would love it. You would absolutely love it.
right.
It's a perfect movie.
Since it has been a minute, Allison, could you give folks a Cliff Notes version of your Twilight backstory?
Yes, of course. I meant to listen back to the last episode I did so I wouldn't say anything that negates anything I said last time or is potentially erroneous. I didn't do that. So I hope I'm consistent. I guess the Cliff Notes version is that I didn't get into Twilight when it was big, when it was like first out, as everyone else did. I was like very like, no, because I was like, this is humiliating, a Harry Potter girl. And Literally like tugging on my collar, like, ooh. And I was resentful that my friends were more into Twilight than they were into Harry Potter, because I thought we had all kind of agreed that Harry Potter was our thing, and then it got replaced, and I was unwilling to change my patterns. So I didn't see the light until I was older, and I recognize, I've never read the books, but I have seen all the movies many times, and now understand them to be like camp classics. So
Sure.
I will say my feelings have become much more fond as an adult. And now I think I am kind of, you know, speaking about living out the experience of younger Allison, I think I am, as an adult, living out the experience that I should have lived as a child by enjoying Twilight now. So that's my feeling.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the space.
Thank you. Thank you. I always feel very welcomed by you two, always.
This is a safe space.
There's
for
never
you.
any judgment here, and I think that's so beautiful.
No. I mean, who are we to fucking judge? You know
Right,
what I
we
mean?
have no ground to stand on, you know?
You could. I wouldn't blame you. I just said
No,
I liked
I mean,
Harry
we'd be
Potter.
talking
What's worse
from-
than that?
We'd be talking from fucking quicksand. So for The King, prior to watching this, I had seen Timothée Chalamet in two things: Little Women and Dune.
Well, you've never seen Lady Bird or Call Me.
And I felt like this movie for me felt like Dune in the sense that I was waiting for Zendaya. Just like I was waiting for Robert, and I felt duped the whole time. What I would love to know from you, Allison, is when you are categorizing a boy movie, TM, what makes a boy movie?
That is like the essential question that I am always trying to unpack. I think a lot of things make a boy movie a boy movie. I initially, like, when I first started this whole enterprise, my
Don't laugh, it is.
I'm laughing to undercut myself, but it is.
You're a media mogul. You're
Yes,
a real Logan Roy.
I am a CEO. Yes, and I will fight my children to see who takes over.
Yes.
Yes. I definitely tried to like establish a criteria at the beginning, and then I quickly realized that there is no way to establish just one criteria, because there are so many elements that make up a boy movie. I think the easiest way to do it in a situation like this, and I do have this in my notes, is that I think you need to like consider, you almost need to, like, when you're watching a specific movie, you almost need to consider you being the royal
Where
you,
it
I guess.
on the Top Gun spectrum.
I mean, well, kind of a little bit. Yeah, it's like Top Gun Maverick is like, it was the first movie I covered in my newsletter, and it is kind of the standard that I have held many things up to. It's like the example I always use for a girl movie is Lady Bird, which I realize you have not seen, Allie. You have not seen Timmy in.
Oh wait, shit. Okay, I have. Never mind.
Okay, good. Good.
So I've seen him in 3 movies.
Okay, you've seen him in 3 movies. Perfect. I was a little nervous. I was like, well, we have to actually stop doing this, and you need to go watch Lady Bird right now. Like, it's, you know. So
I always forget about that one.
It's
just
good.
because I think about like mother trauma and not Timmy.
That makes sense. He is just like rat-faced little boy in that. Like, he's really not the star, but he is iconic to me in it. But that is like the movie that I use as like the spectrum. I'm like, it's either Lady Bird or it's Top Gun Maverick. And I think this actually, The King specifically, kind of hits somewhere in the middle of those two movies, which is interesting because
a bisexual movie. Yeah.
Yes, it is I am always saying a non-binary movie if I can't put it in the category of being a girl movie or a boy movie. I do think this tips more into the category of boy movie, but I think you, like, another thing to consider is like what classic boy movie themes are on display here? Do we have an actor who is really like anchoring in that boy movie feeling? Is the director coming in with a girl's perspective or a boy's perspective? What is the setting like? And I think in this specific scenario, I do have this in my notes. I just wrote, I would say most medieval movies are boy movies. There's just something about that setting that brings out the most boy tendencies in boys. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say what specific criteria is used to define a boy movie. It's, this is not a very helpful answer, but it's almost like you know it when you see it. You know what I mean? Does that make any sense?
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of medieval, one of my first notes that I have is that I put, in quotes, early 1400s, man coughs. And I feel like that kind of sums up this movie.
I think we don't have to say anything else. I think you kind of hit it.
It's just
That's all you need.
Hal, whose name is Henry, but like they call him Hal in this, which is Hal, is just like upset because he has to be king.
Yeah,
because
he's Kendall. He's Kendall. He is Kendall. Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. True. He is having like sibling, like dad issues, and he keeps like throwing food around and gifts around when people in his kingdom literally don't have food to eat because they're in the 100 Years' War right now. Mm-hmm. For context, folks.
That's important. It's important to consider.
Yeah.
He is yet again a little rat-faced little boy. He
and looks like he was cast well in this.
Yes.
He does look like he's from this time period.
And it's the bone structure. And
milky skin.
Yep. And he pulls off the haircut well when they cut his hair. I was like, this is working. Bowl cut. It works on him. I think
I do unfortunately love the bowl cut on him.
He looks so
it's hard
good.
to admit, but I
am a big Shalamaniac. I absolutely love him. And this was actually
you think he pulls off that berries and cream?
Yeah, I do. I really do. And this is actually one of my Timmy blind spots. I have seen most of his movies, and I had not seen this one because I thought it looked boring. And guess what? I was right.
Never been wrong in your life.
Never been wrong. I have a perfect track record so far. But I do think I am better for having seen his performance.
And Allison, I'm curious about your opinions too, was the fact that Nicholas did the music for this.
Ooh, boy. That is one of the first things I noted in my little running thoughts note on my phone. The score was absolutely popping, especially at the end. That like final song that fades out over the credits, and like you hear like them all chanting like "All Hail King Henry" or whatever. I was like, this is low key the best part of the movie. There is something about Nicholas Britell. He had like his music has like a Pavlovian effect in my mind, which I think stems from Moonlight, which is the first time I'd heard his music.
Yes.
And it just like it activates something in my brain that like I feel more positively about things when I hear a Nicholas Britell score. So I think that almost made it easier for me to watch it. I was like, I know he's coming to save me. I know he's coming to save this scene.
Nicholas at Coachella when?
Yep. And oh my God. Well, that will be the first boy movie summit is the Nicholas Britell Coachella set. we'll be partnering.
Can you imagine the Succession theme there?
Live? Are you kidding me? Oh my God.
So
it would
hard.
go off. It would be so good. He has like something about Nicholas Britell, like I need to sit down with him because he loves a boy king. He absolutely does. Because I was as I was writing in my notes, like the Kendall Roy of it all, I was like, oh my God, and here we go with the Britell again. I'm like, there's something, he and I have a lot in common. We have a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
A lot to discuss.
Yeah, I need a New Yorker style, like, live roundtable discussion.
Oh my God. But it's just us, and it's just me being like, do you also baby girlify adult men? And he will say yes.
Walk me through your boy kings, please.
Walk me through. Yeah, give me your top 5 boy kings, Nick. Like,
fuck.
I did meet him once. I met him on the Succession red carpet, and he is a sweetie.
Of the studio, please. Cody, how did you feel about Rob's wig?
Maybe the worst question you could have asked me.
Allie's only asking evil questions today.
Evil questions. And we know the answer. It's not good, right? Like, it's not.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's giving wig, but derogatory, right? Like, it's not.
Yeah, like Eclipse wigs.
derogatory.
And this is something I texted you often because famously he is in this movie for probably 7 minutes total.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is, I was led to believe otherwise. I thought he was like the second star. Like, that's what everyone made me believe.
Yes.
We were all duped. We were gagged. It's fine. Listen, that's on me, I guess. But
Yeah, it's on us.
as I was watching this, I was texting Allie and I was like, this motherfucker was not on this set, right? Like, he looks, every shot he's in, he looks CGI'd into that damn movie. Like, he was not present. He was not there. And I think the wig leans a lot into it too, or it just is, it's almost like they filmed his scenes in portrait mode exclusively. And had like the lowest f-stop you could use, or like the lowest aperture you could use to make it seem like he's just cut out. Like, he's like some cardboard cut out. He's Flat Stanley in here, and I don't understand why it felt like that.
He's in a different movie for sure. Like, he just immediately shows up and is like, both his presence, his iconic wig, his performance, that almost like seems like he's like making fun of the movie. Like, that's the performance that he's giving a tad. Like, he thought it was all a joke. It's just, it's giving like, they cut and pasted him in from like a short film he made in his home or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's giving his like interview tour during the Twilight years of being like, I'm not here, I don't like this movie and these movies, and I'm just gonna say whatever I want, but in this movie, which is a very
but in this
tone.
setting, in this like very and like Timmy is like giving a real performance. Like, Timmy is like, I am a capital A
Timmy's
actor.
gunning for an Oscar.
Yes,
you know?
he thought, they really thought that this was gonna be his like second Oscar play, whatever. And didn't happen. But Timmy was like giving a real performance, and then here comes this motherfucker doing whatever the fuck he wants, like acting insane, just acting completely insane, and acting like he was on a backlot in Los Angeles while the rest of them were off in like the Scottish Highlands or wherever the fuck they filmed this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My truth, I loved it. Just because everything else in this movie is so fucking serious, right? Like, this is supposed to be an adaptation of the
needed the
Shakespeare
reprieve.
plays.
Yes.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
And it's supposed to be a drama. You can very clearly tell that they were trying to do Oscar bait with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then Rob comes in as Louis and is like, you're too pretty to be king. Just fight me, bro. Like, just fight me, bro.
Giant balls. Giant
balls. So iconic.
That was really good. I was not ready.
3 times that they meet. The second one where they're indoors and he's sitting in the chair and it's like dark with the candlelight, where you can very clearly tell that he's just mocking him. I was obsessed with it. It was kind of what I thought it felt, because these were filmed kind of close when Rob did this, and then he did, I think it was called Not Good Time, the one where he was that like really fucky preacher. Because that came out 2020.
Yeah, because that was also a Netflix joint.
That
too.
was a Netflix joint. Is oh my god, I literally cannot remember. He does so many like random movies like that, and I cannot remember the name of it to save my life, but I know what you're talking about.
The Devil All the Time.
Yes, with Tom Holland.
There
With Tom
it is.
Holland.
Yep.
Yes. Yes, with
That
another one
was-
of my boy kings.
I think that like he was trying, I feel like he was on some shit when he was filming both of these.
Yeah.
But like, whereas Devil All the Time, it was like scary Southern Baptist, like aggressively evil.
Yeah.
This was still evil, but I was like rooting for him because I was
This
like,
was gay
yeah, like,
villain.
fuck
He
Henry.
was giving gay villain in this. Like,
Exactly.
this
Yes,
was
100%.
Yeah. This
Where-
is silly
and it's like-
goofy.
you know, like I know they're trying to portray you as evil, but fuck it, like I love a gay villain. So.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I wish that he had been in it more, but
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah.
Literally,
But he was the amount of time he used it to his full potential.
Absolutely.
He really maximized.
Oh,
his
you would have
life.
thought like fucking rent was due. He was working so
rent
hard.
was
for no
rent was
reason.
due. Rent was due, and he was like, "But I'm gonna have fun." Like he was like, "I'm gonna make this my own." And also, my jaw was on the floor at the fact that he's like, "All right, time to fight," and then does the fucking like Simpsons rake gag, just like falling in the mud over and over and over, and then Timmy's like, "Kill him," and then that's how we end. Like I'm like that. Excuse me? That's insane. No one talks about that.
They edged that fight throughout like the back half of this movie, and then it was for naught. Like it meant nothing.
For nothing. It meant nothing, which I think is almost. I mean, that's the whole thing of the movie, is that it was like all for nothing in general. But like, it's just so fun. Like it's another moment of levity that he just is like, whoa, like slipping on a banana peel and then gets killed, like gets his fucking shit rocked. But like, it's so, yeah, it's such an interesting way to end this like whole hour and a half long, like, are we gonna fight? Are we gonna fight? Am I gonna fight him? All right, let's get ready to fight. All right, I need to get my allies ready. Like, that's how it ends? Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of a bold swing.
And I don't really fuck with war movies like this.
Yeah.
Sure. Just because, like, for why? Like,
yeah.
But I thought that this was going to be like Troy, which is my only exception to war movies. Because that's not a war movie, that's a boy movie.
That is a boy movie. That's a boy movie. Yes.
And it's a different. That's not a war movie. It's a story about men.
Yes,
in love.
it is men and boys. Yes,
and that's how I thought like they were actually gonna do at the end, right? Because they had this like really nasty fight that was all for nothing, right? And they all looked the same, and they had that scene in the mud that was like so ruthless and really like sonically disorienting with the helmet ringing. Nasty.
Oh yeah.
But I get why they did it.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, oh, they're going to do a duel like they did with Troy. I was like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
And then I agree. It was, like, very clearly showing, like, this is all for nothing for him to fucking Mario Kart banana peel on this.
Right?
But, I mean, that was, like, the whole 100 Years' War. It's like, it was all...
Yep.
It was all for nothing. Like, this is nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It ultimately makes the point it's trying to make, and I think it does it pretty well. It's just like, it's not necessarily the most satisfying thing to watch, I think. No. It's funny that you say Troy. I was thinking about Gladiator when I was watching this.
Oh yeah.
Because first of all, Rob is definitely giving Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator, just like the camp of it all, the gay villain of it all, and just like I guess I thought that final battle would amount to a little bit more as it does in something like Gladiator, which is so much about the battle, that final battle, whatever. Or I guess it's not really a battle, but it is like a final face-off between Russell Crowe and Joaquin Phoenix, whatever. But yeah, it's such an interesting, bold swing to just have it be like, okay, well, now it's over, and he's gonna marry Lily Rose Depp, and that's just the end of the movie. And she hates him.
It. That's all, folks.
And she hates him.
So bad.
Oh, she hates
like one
him.
of the only two women in this 2.5 hour movie.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm not going to speak English to you until you deserve it.
Yep. She's like, I am withholding, which I kind of loved. I kind of loved her scene.
I
didn't watch her little show that I literally cannot, The Idol, that's what it's called. But I do remember of all the noise around that show, people were like, she's actually talented. And I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. And now I'm watching this and I'm like, she's actually talented. I believe it.
Okay.
Yeah. She's pretty good.
This is the first thing I've seen her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. She's pretty good.
Something that was really fascinating to me when I was doing research about this after I watched is that there was beef between this movie and like historians.
Yes, I saw that too.
100%,
they were big
because
mad.
It's not historically accurate at all.
Right,
Yep.
at all, which is like fair, right? And also you're coming from a very specific like source material, which is like Shakespeare's Henriade trilogy. The trilogy focused on Henry, like King Henry.
That's most
which is
of my notes. Right,
which is also
inaccurate it is.
Right, which is also very biased in its own way, and also very like takes a lot of liberties in the original source material, and it being a loose adaptation of that loose adaptation of historical events. But there was this one dude, I do not know how to say his name, Christophe, maybe? Let's say that, where he wrote this whole screed calling it like anti-French nonsense. He said it had francophobe tendencies. He went in and did like a bullet point list of like, here's everything. Like, first of all, you know, like Louis actually wasn't a dick like that. He was actually very ill. So fuck you. And he went off. So honestly, respect to the historians really going to bat against this Netflix movie.
So funny. That's so funny, and it
Say
does.
Your piece, you know?
It reminds me of something that I have. I wrote about this a little bit in the Social Network issue of Boy Movies, but I do think that there is not to bring up the Social Network again, but there is something that almost. If you're making a movie that has any basis in history at all, it's almost like such a hallmark of like a historical boy movie to have historians come in and be like, you are appropriating my culture, and then they write a screed about why this movie is bad for their little culture. I guess that's the only word I can think to describe it. And I do think this really pissed some historians off, which I think is so funny. I'm like, wow, they really get big mad about this stuff. Like, not to laugh at their pain, because I know that they do legit get offended, but like, I do find it funny that this happens. Like, it happens with everything from this shit, like old like medieval war shit, to like as recent as like people who went to Harvard being like, this was inaccurate. He didn't act like that. I saw him. I went to school. I was like, okay, got it. Understood. Thank you for defending Mark Zuckerberg's behavior. Like, you know what I mean? I just think it's a very, it's like a backbone of a historically
it's like
based
a gold
boy
star
movie.
almost.
Yeah, it is.
To be like, you have the people that were actually like knowledgeable about it being like, this sucks.
Yes,
okay.
yes, it is.
And
meanwhile, I think if it was a girl movie, no one would care.
I am defending historians always, but like,
sure,
why? Like, this is what you want to go to bat for? Is a
so
French
funny.
royal?
So
and
funny.
not like the historical accuracy of like the French commoners here.
So funny.
right?
Like,
come on,
can
like,
we choose
let's
our
be
battles?
Here.
Why don't we make sure that some of the other things are historically accurate too?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Historians?
But it is
I want to make sure that all of the things that we have, but none of this said that it was completely true story. It's a fucking adaptation.
Right.
So slow your roll.
Right.
How about that?
On an already fictional text.
Yep, right.
Cannot stress that enough.
Of something that is not even true. Like, you know, it's so funny. It's so funny.
Shakespeare never, like, Billy Shakes never said that he is like a historian.
Yeah.
So
he was just some guy.
Right.
Yeah, you think he was besties with Henry? Like, let's be real. Come on now.
Come on. Yeah.
Though
I
choose to believe that like Hal got nasty at the end and like sat in his king role and did stab that dude in a nasty way.
Yeah.
Because that feels right in my soul.
Yeah. I also just need to add quickly that Joel Edgerton is almost like, I do not like him. Something about him does not sit right with my spirit, and I like realized in this movie he was made in the man lab for a specific kind of man, and I was like, because I usually am all in on stories about a little guy who's like, this is my male best friend who I'm going to fuck over in some way, or he is going to fuck me over, and I'm going to be tortured about the fact that we kind of fucked each other over. And I am usually a sucker for that type of narrative, and it did not get me here, and I think because of Joel Edgerton being made in the man lab, and therefore I can't even see him. I can barely see him. I see like just static when I look at him.
Yeah,
that's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just needed to note that.
don't regret watching this.
No.
I will not watch it again.
No.
Yeah. I know.
Too long. I'll watch something else.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that we'll just watch something else. If we're like, we want to watch a movie, we won't ever revisit The King.
There's so many other movies, you know?
There's a lot
There's
of
so
other
many other
movies.
movies.
Like Walk Hard, for instance.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of
Or
the
like-
many movies that you can watch.
Yeah, 100%. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Cody, do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Shout out to Alex Dornan.
Ooh, thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Pew pew. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh, thank you to Katya Karp.
Thank you to Hope Castile.
Ooh, thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ow. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh, thank you to Danielle Burke.
Pew pew. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ooh, thank you to Laura Forty.
Ow ow. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh. Thank you to Jaylene Ivashkov.
Ooh, and last but certainly not least, thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Pew 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 pew.
I am waiting on bated breath, Allison, to know what fanfiction that you have brought to space.
All right. Okay, I actually am gonna like get a little vulnerable. I feel safe doing that with you guys specifically, because again, it is always such a safe space here. So this does require a little bit of preamble. If you will just come with me on a very short journey as I guide you through it. So
I love that.
The last time I was here, I do remember I sought out Twilight fan fiction, which I had never done in my life before. And I was like, but you know what? When in Rome, you know? And then this time, because of, as we have discussed, there is a Nicholas Britell, aka Succession connection with this episode, because he did the music of the King, I decided to bring in some Succession fan fiction.
Let's go.
Dude.
And I just need to say, I am not being dramatic. This is one of the greatest works of fan fiction I have ever read in my life. It is called, well, it is a series. It is a series called The Scandinavian Defense. It is by the enigmatic icon Leo and Snake. We do not know, we meaning like me and the legion of fans who like absolutely stan this series. We do not know the nature of their true identity. We know nothing about them. And yet I will follow this person to the ends of the earth. They have given me my life, and they wrote The Scandinavian Defense, which is a Kendall Stewie fan fiction that takes place, yes, after, I am not a Tom Gregg, I am a Kendall Stewie warrior, and
You're so real.
Thank you. This takes place after the end of season 3, the immediate aftermath, and then there is a part 1, there is a Scandinavian Defense part 1, and then we are currently waiting for the final installment of the Scandinavian Defense part 2, which will see the end of this narrative, which imagines a different version of season 4. Okay? It is
goodness.
Wow.
absolutely stunning. It is, to give just a quick log line, it imagines a world in which after the end of season 3, and I'm so sorry to any of your listeners who do not watch Succession and therefore this means fucking nothing to them, but it does imagine a world where the Roy children, after Logan cut them out, iconically at the end of season 3, partner with Stewie and Sandy to take over Waystar, and then they do, and then it is about what happens from that. So
Amazing.
Thank you. So I if I can inspire even one person to go read this 2-part series, it is absolutely worth it. It will take you on a journey. And I'm going to read a very short excerpt from the first part of the first series, Scandinavian Defense. It is called A Desperate Foe. And I don't even need to set it up. But I am going to warn you, I'm going to do a little bit of acting because there is some dialogue.
Ooh.
So, yes. So,
Hell yeah.
I'm feeling very, very vulnerable, but I'm going to do it. Okay. Here we go after that really long preamble. Has anyone ever come in here and done like a small monologue before reading
Yes.
an excerpt?
Yeah, people like explain their choices.
Okay,
That's
good.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, good. All right,
Set
good.
the scene, you know?
Yeah, you got to set the scene somehow. Okay, so here we go. This is from, again, A Desperate Foe by Leo and Steak. Okay. Hey, Kendall said. We can pull the plug on this anytime. Just say the word. Next to him, Stewie let out a soft sigh, and Shiv looked up. What the fuck? She said. No, we're doing this. Do you not want to do this? Because that would be pretty hypocritical. You've taken shot after shot at Dad. And missed every time, Roman added helpfully. I'm giving you guys the benefit of my wisdom and experience, Kendall said, taking a deep breath to steady himself. Roman repeated wisdom in a goofy, mocking voice. You had never taken a real shot at him before. I know how you feel right now. You're furious and humiliated, and you want revenge, you want to kill him, and you want to win. I'm saying I don't know if it's possible. We have to try, Roman said, sounding helpless. I know, Kendall said. He wished he didn't know. He wished he could envision any reality besides the Sisyphean one, any course of action besides leaping to his feet and running back up the hill that his father had just pushed him down. He was quiet for a moment, then added, It's hard to believe that Dad is so good at jerking our chains that it took us 40 years to realize he was never planning on giving it to any of us. Shiv held up a hand. 34. 36, Roman muttered. I figured that one out in 10th grade, Stewie said. They all looked at him in surprise, and he shrugged. The benefit of an outside perspective. The end.
Wow.
Isn't that stunning? Isn't that so stunning?
Good. That's good.
Damn.
Go read it. It is, you can still probably catch up before the final installment, which will certainly transport me to another dimension and you will never see me again. It is many parts. It is very long, but it is so worth it. It is wonderful. I am not unconvinced that Jesse Armstrong is a executive producer on this fic, frankly.
Oh my God. Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this writer seems tapped in.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Such a beautiful choice to bring Succession fan fiction because I'm not allowed to. So I'm immensely grateful.
You got
that
it.
you can do so.
You got it. Any way to serve.
I am so grateful to have had you on the show, not just once, but twice.
Oh my gosh.
So thank you for being our first repeat guest on the show.
Pleasure. What an absolute
And as
pleasure.
always, the door is always open.
Thank you.
You are
I will be
always welcome
back.
to come
I'm going to be the first third timer. Now I'm setting a record. Now I'm like,
Now I got goals.
yeah.
Okay.
Now I need to defend my crown. Frankly,
Gotta do the three-peat, you know?
yeah. I need to be the king. I need to be the king.
Oh my God. We're going to see you come back with a
I'm
very
Hal.
green haircut.
Yes. Yes.
Where
That's what happens.
can folks go to support your work?
You can go to boymovies.substack.com. As we have said many times throughout this, very kindly, Allie and Cody very kindly brought it up. It is my weekly newsletter. I write about movies for boys. Sometimes I write about movies for girls. So I just do a little bit of everything. The most recent issue was on Red, White, and Royal Blue. Which broke my brain in such a specific way that I had to write about it, despite the fact that it is a girl movie. But yeah, you can subscribe. It's a fun little time over there. And I also am, reviewing upcoming TV sometimes on tvguide.com, though that seems to be dwindling the deeper into the strike that we get. Yeah. So catch me on Boy Movies, basically.
Huge.
Hell yeah.
Huge.
Yes.
Huge news there.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, friends, thank you for this. We're going to pretend was a 2.5-hour episode.
In our
that
hearts
Cody
it
so
was.
graciously cut down. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
Get bit.
ooh.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.